We're now getting ready to put our warp threads onto our loom, and they're the threads that will be going across the loom. Then our weft threads will be the ones that go around in a circle from the center. So we're going to thread our needle. The yarn we're using is a cotton thread. So one end will have a knot in it. That's going to go to the back of your loom. And the other end, I'm going to thread into this needle. So I'm just going to lay my yarn across the needle, like this. And then I'm going to get my paddle pop stick and I'm just going to poke that thread through the hole, like this. Okay. Then I can just take my paddle pop stick out, being careful not to pull the thread with it, and then just pull it the rest of the way through. Okay, and then we're ready to go. So we're now going to create our loom, put our warp threads into our loom. So I want you to note where your knot is. That's the back of your loom, and that needs to be to the bottom. Okay, so we're going to be coming up from the bottom and through the holes where the pipe cleaner is. So you'll take the pipe cleaner off, but I only want you to take it off one at a time, so I don't want you to lose the holes. Just take it out and make sure you can see that hole clearly. Okay, so you're going to take your needle and come up from the bottom, okay, and bring your needle all the way through until you get to your knot. So bring the thread all the way through until you get to your knot, and then pull it tight. Now this warp thread needs to have tension. It needs to be pulled taut the whole time. Okay, you're now going to bring that directly across to the other side. So you could bring it to either of these ones, would be fine for your first one. And now we're going to go down from the top. So I'll take off my pipe cleaner, don't lose my hole, and I'm going down from the top and taking it all the way through. So pull it all the way through, and I want to pull it quite taut. I'm now going to take a step to the side. So I will need to turn my frame over for this. I'm going to step to the side. I can either go to the right or to the left, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go this way, take my pipe cleaner out and take a step to the side. I can flip it over again now. So I've got my top here, and then bring it all the way through. Okay, pull it so it's taut. You want to have tension here. You don't want this warp thread to be floppy. Okay, I'm now going to come across to the other side, but my thread needs to crisscross and make a cross with the other existing thread. So I'm not going alongside it to create parallel lines. I'm going to go crisscross. If you don't get across, it's not right. And then I'm going to go down from the top. So I'm going to take out my next pipe cleaner. I keep them out of the way over to the side. And I'm going to go down through this hole, pulling it all the way through. Okay. Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to take a step to the side. So I'm going to be going now away from my initial knot here. Take my pipe cleaner out, careful not to lose my hole. Take a step to the side, flip it over, and I'm coming up. Just be careful not to get things tangled. Pull it taut, nice and tight, and I'm going to crisscross. So I'm not going up here, I'm coming across to the one next to it. I'm not skipping one, I'm going to the next one. So you're always going to the one that is beside where your last one was. So take my pipe cleaner out. I'm on the top, so I'm going down from the top. I go down from the top and up from the bottom, okay? I'm now going to the side. So whenever I'm on the bottom, I'm going to the side. If I'm coming from the top, I'm going across. Okay, so I'm going across one to the side. Pull this through. So on top, I'm not going to see any of these lines going to the side, whereas on the bottom, I'm going to have these lines going to the side. So you'll know you're successful if you can see these lines here on the bottom of your loom, okay? I'm going to crisscross applesauce, so I'm coming to the one next to the last one. Undo my pipe cleaner, come down from the top. Try and always keep these threads taut, so keep pulling them taut. Okay, flip it over, and I'm going to the side, step to the side. It's almost like little dance steps. Okay, to the side, put it through. I'm going to just flip over, coming up from the bottom. Crisscross applesauce, so I'm going down through the one that is next to my last one, going down from the top. Okay, I'm pulling it taut again, so I'm pulling it the whole time. I want it to be not saggy or loose. Okay, I'm now going to go across to the side, and you might notice a pattern where there's a line, no line, a line, no line, a line. Okay. Pull it tight, come across. Now I'm going to change the pattern, so watch carefully, and if you get stuck at this point, come and ask me for help. I'm going to now change things when I've got 2 pipe cleaners left or 2 holes left. So this time I want to try and bring my thread so that this center part here is in the middle of my loom. Okay, so it's too far down at the moment. So I'm going to come across the top of that, and I'm going to take my thread under. Okay, so instead of going down to this one, I'm going to go under, pull this up so it's in the center. Then I'm going to take this top pipe cleaner out, and I'm going to come up from the bottom. Okay, pulling this until this is in the center. Okay, I want it to be in the center, not off to the side, not off-centered. I now need to come over to here, but if I come directly across, I'm going to miss this middle line. So I'm just going to do a little loop around that middle. So I'm going to go down into this gap and just back up on the other side, so that now I can come directly across to this one, and I've gone through that center. Okay, I'm not missing that center point. Okay, so this is my last one. Take my pipe cleaner out, and I'm going down from the top. Okay, and there you have it. This is what it should look like on the back. Okay, so I'm now going to just take this and I'm going to loop it underneath this next one here and tie it off into a knot. Okay, now I will need to make sure that knot is very secure, otherwise when I'm halfway through my weaving, I might have my warp threads all come undone, and they need to be really tight. So I've just tied a knot there. Let's show you how I've done that. So I've just created a loop here. I've gone under the thread and then up through my loop that's there. and then I've just pulled that nice and tight. And I would want to do that maybe 2 or 3 times, because I really want this knot here to be very, very secure. If that comes undone, my whole loom is going to fall apart. Okay, and there you have it. I've created my loom with my warp threads ready to go. When you cut off your thread, try not to cut it too close because your knot might come undone. So I just would cut it about there. I can always shorten that later, okay, when I'm finished my project, but I can't create length if it's falling apart, okay, and I might just trim that one a little bit shorter, but I'm probably leaving 1 to 2 centimeters there, okay, and I can trim it later, that's fine.